Hi guys, and welcome back to English Harmony video blog. I'm Robbie, your fluency mentor, and today I'm going to tell you what I witnessed at work today. You see, I work in a company where there's many nationalities represented, and this particular person, a girl to be more specific, she really doesn't speak in English, and she's learning the language now. And during the lunch break, I witnessed how she used her smartphone and a particular app on the smartphone to learn English vocabulary. So what she did was she spoke out loud in her native language. So basically she said a word in Polish. It was a Polish girl, right? And then the software translated the word into English. And if that was a verb, the three basic verb forms were given. In this particular instance, the word was to bring. And the man's voice on her smartphone said, bring, brought, brought. And this clearly illustrates what's wrong with the traditional approach towards learning the English language. If you learn such an unnatural word string, word combination, bring, brought, brought, right? What happens in your brain? All these three words are associated together, right? And you'd think it's a good thing to learn basic verb forms at once. But when you want to use that verb, you'll be constantly analyzing your speech, and you'll be constructing sentences from scratch in your head, because this particular verb, to bring, is not going to associate with any other words that it naturally goes together with. It'll have the other words associated with it, bring, brought, brought. So whenever you want to use this word, you'll be kind of thinking, bring, brought, brought, which one do I have to use? What tense do I have to use, and so on and so forth. But what should happen instead is the software should give the translation of the word and then a word combination where that word is used, right? In this case, the girl was a beginner English learner, so probably a very complicated collocation wouldn't serve the purpose. She wouldn't understand what it means, right? Simply because her basic vocabulary is almost non-existent. But still, the word bring could be combined with a very, very simple word explaining some basic action. To bring water home. And an icon with a human being carrying a water bucket would be displayed on the screen or something like that, right? But for more advanced English learners, collocations such as, let me look up some collocation in my file. Let's do a search. Bring. Let's bring it up. It's a typical English phrase, collocation, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. In reality, word groups are what form our language, right? That's how we speak. And let's bring it up is a very good example of a collocation where the verb bring is part of. Let's bring it up, and that simply means let's mention it. And typically you would say, let's bring it up in the meeting. You're discussing some issue with your work colleague, and then your work colleague responds by saying, it's a good idea. We should bring it up in the next company meeting, or let's bring it up in the next meeting. Something like that. And another collocation, which brings us to the next point. You're saying something, and then when there's something else to follow, you use the phrase, which brings us to the next point, and here the verb bring again is used. And this is how you'll learn to use verbs and any other English word for that matter in real-life collocations, in real-life conversations rather, right? And basically, needless to say, learning word strings that aren't used in real life. Nobody says bring, brought, brought. Those three words don't go together in real life. It's only the grammar books where they're written together, thus creating all this confusion in English learners' heads and causing the writing mode whereby you analyze your speech, you imagine that you're writing on a piece of paper, picking the best fitting words, you're conjugating the verbs, choosing the right form, and in this case you'd be analyzing the whole thing in your head, going bring, brought, which one do I have to use, and so on and so forth. It's not necessary. It's actually detrimental to one's fluency. So, what happened at work? I tried to explain the whole thing to that girl's friend who speaks quite good in English. Did she take it on board? Well, she got the drift, she got the basic point, but nonetheless, it didn't change anything in that person's learning attitude. She still uses the smartphone, she still uses the same app, and she still embeds all those unnatural collocations, unnatural word combinations in her mind. There's not much I can do about it, but I care about you, my friends. So, if you find yourself in situations like that, where you learn verb groups by reciting the three different verb forms one after each other and try to remember them that way, please don't do that. Rather, find collocations containing this or that particular verb and learn those collocations, those phrases, thus embedding naturally occurring speech patterns into your brain. Alright? I hope you take this advice on board, my friends, and thanks for watching, and talk to you soon again. Bye bye!